In a world where everyone has their own YouTube channel and podcast, this guy had a YouTube channel but no podcast. Now, here's the guy with zero original ideas.
Why do we really need this?
It's Shawn Cash and the Shawn Cash PodCash.
Why don't you give the storytelling a rest and try something else?
Are you shocked? It is a video that I'm doing, and it is just a Shawn Cash PodCash, but I'll give you some details on this. So, let me move this really quick. So, this is what today's PodCash is going to be about. Well, and this. I'll get to that in just a second. I'm already starting to veer off on a tangent. So, it has been a while since I have done a video. I was just recently on a Inside the Booth podcast, and we were talking about an issue that I face, and I could be alone in this, but the reason that I started this channel is so that I could try and finish a project. I have this, I'll call it an issue. I have this issue where I will get stuck in the middle of a project, and I need to find a solution to something, or it's just not turning out the exact way that I want it to, and I'm a little picky when it comes to things like that. And what I will do is I will then start another project. And while I'm working on that project, I'm kind of going through some ideas on how to solve that other issue in the other project that I should be working on. We'll call that Project 1. Well, the problem that I have is I normally, because of this channel, am forced to go back to Project 1 and finish that so that I have content. Because the hard thing about when you're doing a YouTube channel is I'm having to film the process on every one of these. And if I've got 2 projects going on, it's really not that big a deal. The problem is I'm not going back to my original project. I'm on about Project 9. So I get stuck on Project 1, I move on to 2. I get stuck with something or don't like the way it's turning out, I go on to 3, to 4, to 5. And I've got all of these cards with all of this content for all of these projects that I'm working on. And there are a lot of them. So in order to get myself moving forward again, and I'm also working on stuff for some movie projects, some independent films and stuff like that as well. So it's not like I've been doing nothing, but at the same time, it's not providing content. So in order to get past that hurdle and to finally do something for the channel, I'm going to do a bit of an unboxing video. I'm not getting this content for free. I'm not getting this item. I have a feeling from everything that I have seen that I'm going to love this piece of art, and I wanted to bring you along with me to show you. So today's video, I'm like 5 minutes in and I haven't even gotten to anything. So I have this helmet. This is my Mandalorian helmet, my 501st approved Mandalorian helmet. And I made this helmet. I 3D printed this, I painted it, I weathered it. This is my helmet for my 501st Season 1 Mandalorian helmet. And as much as I love it, and it looks great, it's done with the Alamuster paint. That's what it's called, right? For some reason, as I said that, it sounded more like mustard and didn't sound right. Sorry, I'm on a tangent again. But what happens is because this gets thrown into cases with the rest of my Mandalorian costume when we go out and do a troop, and it's been a while since I've done one, it gets these little nicks. And these nicks can look like battle damage, but it chips down to the gray filament that the helmet is made from. And I don't like the way it looks. I think it could pass as battle damage, but what I wind up doing is I go through and I kind of do a weathering on that and kind of make it a little blacker. And I've got some scratches here, and you can see I've got some that I really need to do a better job of fixing these, but I've got a couple that are pretty deep. All right, I'm gonna go off on one more tangent. So this will kind of segue into today's unboxing. I may have told this story before, but my wife is a huge horse lover, and she owns horses and has had horses since I've known her. So the way that I proposed to her, because when we first started dating, she mentioned something offhand that said, oh, I've always had the fantasy of being proposed to, my knight in shining armor, suit of armor. And so I thought, hey, if this ever winds up happening, I'm going to propose to her in a suit of armor. And I had gone to a couple different Renaissance pleasure fairs, and I got the card of an armorer and a guy who makes custom armor. And I had a helmet and chest plate and gauntlets and gloves and the whole thing made. And then my mom, being a saint, I hand sketched what I wanted the undergarments to look like under this suit of armor. And she hand sewed all of that stuff and did an amazing job. And it's kind of designed after, if you've ever seen First Night, Sean Connery's in it. They have these really cool blue and gray undergarments, and they looked awesome. And so that's what I did. I fully custom created a full suit of armor and then spent a couple weeks getting her horse used to seeing the armor and then letting me get on. And it's a metal helmet, and it has this neck piece in the collar that is metal. It doesn't have any give, and it's about maybe 1.5 inches, and then I have this helmet on, and I was deathly afraid. I'm not a big horse person. I've ridden a little bit with her horses, but I thought, if this horse bucks me off, I had this guillotine around my neck, and I'm not going to make it. So it was a long process getting her used to this, and I was waiting there at the barn when she pulled up in her car, and I rode around the corner in a suit of armor, shining in the sun, and got off and proposed to her in a suit of armor. Long segue. So there's this guy on Facebook. His name is Dana Sweetman. Now, Dana Sweetman is an armorer. He lives in Canada. You can find his stuff at aegisarmor.ca or on Facebook at Facebook/Aegis Armor. And I'm plugging him just because he's a master craftsman. And I've been following his builds for a while because he decided he was going to make a real metal Mandalorian helmet. And he's been patterning it and going through some iterations and trying to find the best way to make this so that it looks as accurate, screen accurate as possible, but instead of out of plastic, it would be out of metal. Well, I bought one. So I'll turn it this way so that you don't have his and my address. I have one, and it's in this box, and I haven't seen it yet, and I've been dying to see it, and I'm getting ready to go on vacation. All right. one more tangent. So my daughter, that's one of the other things that's been going on. My daughter just graduated high school, and she's always wanted to go to Europe. So we've been saving for a long time to have this trip to Europe. And so my tangent, a long time ago, my wife and I did some traveling before we had kids, and I had read the best way for a guy to travel, to pack, is to bring all of the stuff that you no longer want. Shorts, shirts, socks, underwear, whatever it happens to be, you pack the things that you no longer want. And you just throw it away along your trip. And so my hotel rooms in the past have been littered with clothes that I no longer wanted. Or I would give them to Goodwills or charities in that area as I was traveling. Of course, not the underwear. Although, if the price is... Never mind. I'm not even going to go off on that tangent. I'm going to just stay with the original tangent I was on. So, I am getting ready to go on vacation, and I'm going to be gone. And so, I can't wait any longer to open this. I want to open it before we leave. And, yeah. So anyway, so I'm doing this unboxing video. So let me cut this packaging here. And finally get a chance to see this helmet that I purchased. The only bad part, for those that are, considering doing something like me and throwing away all of their clothes on the trip, the only bad part to it is... All right, so here's the good part. The good part is the suitcase, in theory, gets lighter because you're throwing away all of your clothes. That doesn't actually happen, especially if you're married. What winds up happening is your wife or kids or whoever else winds up buying things, and it just makes more room in the suitcase because your clothes are getting thrown away and they're buying things during the trip, and so it's filling back up. But the good news is you wind up at the end not having to unpack anything because you've got nothing left other than your toothbrush. And that was literally what happened when we had gone to Italy before we had kids. I had nothing left in my suitcase. The bad part is when you look back at the family photos, it's you wearing all of your worst clothes. And most of them don't match. This is really well packed. You can see from the inside, it is all packed with foam. And I have a feeling, because when I had armor made before, it gets packed in oil. Yeah. Let's see. I kind of prepared for this. I have some paper towels and some rags because I knew that I might have to clean it all off to be able to show you. And Dana has done exactly that and packed this in oil so that, oh man, Dana, this, God, I knew that this was worth shooting a video with because, Dana, you have done an incredible job. As somebody who is in the 501st, and somebody who has to pay attention to all the little details. I mean, look at the back of that. Can you see? He's got that little fish scale ribbing on the back and the earpieces. And this is, it's metal. It's not this. It's not plastic. This is all metal. And it's beautiful. It's weird that as I am sitting here staring at it, what I'm thinking is, oh God, can I not wait to weather this thing? This is going to be beautiful. With some weathering on that and some dust. Oh man. Dana, this is beautiful. I will take some close-up shots of this. And it's got nothing in the inside yet. It doesn't have any foam. If I were to turn my other one around, I had to glue in some foam inserts and things on the inside so that it could sit on my head correctly. And this has nothing in there, but I gotta put it on because I'm crazy. And oh, it's beautiful. Oh, that is so nice. Oh, Dana, this helmet is a work of art. It's beautiful. Sorry, I keep looking off camera so that I can see it in the monitor. And this is a beautiful work of art. Again, Dana Sweetman. You can find him aegisarmor.ca and Facebook/aegisarmor. This is stunning. A work of art. And I can't wait to weather this when I get back. But I just thought I would do a quick podcast to let you know that I am still working on projects to show off this amazing metal Mandalorian helmet. And with that, I just wanted to thank everyone for putting up with this giant pause that I've had. I am working on projects. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your subscriptions to the channel. Thank you for those that are Patreons that have been putting up with me and reaching out, trying to make sure that everything's okay, that I'm doing well. I am, like I said, I have multiple projects that I am working on. I have been working on some films as well, some independent stuff. And I'm still plugging away, but I wanted to put out a video because I've made you wait too long. And this was worth doing a video because Dana has done a great job with this. I will put some links down below, but I've got to go grab all of the clothes that I no longer want and throw them into a suitcase so that we can jet off and go on our trip. But thank you very much for watching. I just wanted to thank everyone who is a try to finish something supporter, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks, everyone.